Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. So this week is a big week in tech, starting with CES 2019, and then secondly, the upcoming release of Linux 5.0. And so everybody in the tech industry, this is the big one. This is CES 2019, which just recently wrapped up in Las Vegas. And as with every year, there's been a lot of interesting things introduced or about to be released, and everybody has their own picks for their top favorites. And I myself have my top picks for CES 2019, and it starts with the word modular. So let's go ahead and start with Dell's Alienware Area 51M, which is basically the first truly modular laptop. Now, this is something that I think a lot of geeks and gamers have wanted for a long time, because I think in general, most people who are into technology really want a lot of control over their technology. That's why there's so many people who want to build their own PC. Now, with a laptop, you have had ways that you could customize your laptop when you buy it. And then when it comes to upgradability, it's normally going to be the RAM and the hard drive and maybe even the laptop panel if you wanted to do that. But other than that, laptops aren't really known for upgradability. By Dell introducing this modular laptop, it really changed the game. And it changes it in two main ways. You could actually upgrade the CPU and GPU. And so that is huge, because whenever people upgrade, those are the two most important components. All the other stuff, it's not as important. You know, like you're probably not going to replace your motherboard every single year. And even if you do, you're going to replace it mainly because there's new CPUs or GPUs. So that is very, very important. And so basically you're going to keep the chassis, you know, so it's just like almost like a normal desktop PC where you're really replacing the components on the inside and not really the outside. And in terms of the CPU and GPU upgradability, this is where things are really cool, because the CPU, you can use a standard desktop class processor. And then secondly, the GPU itself, you could upgrade it via the actual onboard graphics, or you could use an external module with the Alienware graphics amplifier and actually use a desktop class GPU. Now, this has existed before. It's something NVIDIA pioneered. And so this is going to be really cool for people who truly want to have a desktop replacement. And I know that that word's thrown around a lot, but I think by having this upgradability, this modularity built in, this is going to really take it to another level. And it's also going to extend the life of your laptop. And what's great about this is it does have the power to back it up as well. And so this has a lot of advanced features. It has an 8th generation Intel Core processor. And once again, going back to the modularity, you know, you're not going to be outdated anytime soon. And then if you actually look at the pricing itself, I think for everything that you're getting here, it is fairly reasonable for people who are into really high-end performance. So the pricing starts at around $2,550. And it goes all the way up to nearly $5,000. And, you know, for a lot of people who are into high performance laptops, then, you know, that's pretty much not that big of a deal for people spending that much money. Because if you go to something like a MacBook Pro, you know, that starts at $2,400 and goes up to about $28,000. And it could even go higher for people who want the, you know, most top end features, especially for the Apple MacBook. But this is obviously way beyond that. So I really feel this is going to be great for a lot of people, and just not gamers as well, because I know this is going to work out well. But later on, this technology, I think, is going to trickle down and be available for most of the mainstream laptops. And I can't wait till that happens, because giving people the way to upgrade without having to buy a whole new machine is always a big plus for me. So the second thing for modularity comes in your actual monitors, specifically your TVs, and even more than that with Samsung's micro LED technology. Now, what's really cool about this is you basically take different parts, just these panels with this new micro LED technology, and you could basically create your own panels, which is really cool. Check this out. There's the modularity part. You can actually create almost any type of screen that you want. And this is really going to take us to the next level of visual TV screen technology. And I really can't wait, you know, because it really allows you to customize your viewing experience however you want. And the new micro LED technology, in terms of a picture quality standpoint, it takes the best of what, you know, the LED technology world, QLED, And then they marry that with OLED, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. And so you get the best colors, you get deep true blacks, and at the same time you get the benefits of really, really high brightness. And then of course you get this amazing modularity. So you could have a 200, 300 inch screen. Actually, it's pretty much unlimited based upon how much space you have, or you could just have a really small panel to use. And so I can't wait till this comes out, which leads to the other innovation in display technology, and that is with LG's rollable OLED. Now, this is something they talked about in prototype form in last year's CES, but now they're actually going to be releasing this. And this is also another huge game changer, because with the LG signature, the actual OLED screen is actually flexible. It's rollable, and it's inside this, basically this sound bar, and it rises up. And I think right now this is a 65-inch OLED screen. And as you can see here, you can see the practical benefits of this. And by having it being rollable, you could actually choose to have it extend all the way, or even just for like media consumption or media playing right here. And so it's a media player slash TV. And because it is so small, it's something that, won't really get in your space. If it's something like, for example, people who just have a small amount of space, or people who want, to not block their view. And obviously both of these technologies, the rollable OLED and also this micro LED, is probably not going to be for normal consumers. This is going to be extremely expensive. And so I think they did the right thing by showing people living in extremely expensive places. But just like the whole modular Alienware, eventually all of this technology is going to trickle down, and this is going to be the future of display technology. And these two display technologies really show the pretty much unlimited possibilities that we could get with this. Just as I said earlier, because it is modular, you could customize it. And with the rollable LED technology, now we really do have the whole flexible technology. It's going to get only crazier, and I can't wait. This is really what I call innovative. It's going to the very next level of technology, and it's really going to change our overall experience for decades to come. And so the final piece of CES, which I was absolutely blown away from, and this is going to be like life-changing. It's not just technology, and that is Burger 2.0. If you're not familiar what this is actually a plant-based meat. And this is something that has been in development for a long time, from researchers in Japan to all around the world. There is a lot of research going into this, because this is huge. This is huge for the world, actually, because it involves food. And there's a lot of technologies that go into this. And basically, this is going to be a lab-grown plant-based meat. And if this works the way that all of these companies are really hoping it will, and I know it will, then we really will change how people eat. And also business-wise, how manufacturers and businesses make money. And then finally, how this affects the environment. Because the whole idea of using these plant-based technologies is because you don't have to use real meat. You don't have to use cows, chickens, or any of these other meats. And if you are in the whole agriculture industry, then that's going to really save a lot of space, waste, and money, because it does require a lot to actually grow, produce, and manufacture real meat. And the biggest problem all of these synthetic lab-grown meats have had is the taste, the texture, all those things that people love. And also the nutritional value of this is going to be way higher than normal meat. But I think it comes down to taste. I think that's normally the biggest things, because you can have the most nutritionally amazing thing, but if people don't like the taste, they're not going to eat it. But what this company, Impossible Foods, has done, they've actually changed the game on that. If it does what it's supposed to in terms of the taste and the nutrition, and also most importantly for businesses is the cost, then it'll allow more people around the world, especially in poorer countries, to actually be fed, in a very economical, efficient way. And as a matter of fact, it is already available in White Castle. So this is the new Impossible slider. I can't believe it's already here, but it's in select locations right now. Now, White Castle, they are going to modify this just a little bit over their ingredients, and Impossible Foods does say that manufacturers can modify their original recipe, but this is absolutely amazing. And at the same time, later on in 2019, this will be released in stores. So you could actually just go buy a pack of these Impossible Meat sliders or the meats and actually cook this at home as well. So I really think out of everything here, this is the one that's truly gonna revolutionize the whole world. And I can't wait to try one of these. I don't have a White Castle near me, but as soon as this becomes available, I'm gonna try it out. So that is it for the biggest part of the technology news, CES 2019. So let's go ahead and move over to Linux 5 or Linux 5.0. Now, Linus Torvalds in his latest posting did talk about Linux 5.0, and he was like, well, he just named it that because 4.21, that was what it was supposed to be. And he's saying this really isn't a big update, but there's a lot of important things here. And the biggest one is, of course, with drivers. Almost every single new release of Linux, they're constantly improving their drivers. And the biggest improvements here is for graphics drivers, for AMD FreeSync, and NVIDIA RTX Turing, and also the Raspberry Pi. And this is huge, you know. I mean, gamers have always wanted this, and it's just not for gaming. This has so many different applications, and the better graphics driver support comes out to Linux, obviously, the more that businesses and people and governments are going to use Linux, because it works with everything and it constantly improves. Other improvements is high DPI for 4K screens, and also really important is more improvements security to mitigate any type of problems, to remove any problems you get from the Spectre and Meltdown bugs that happened last year. So all of these things are really important as a whole for Linux and just technology in general, because so many businesses and governments rely on Linux every single day. And then from a consumer standpoint, we have stuff like Android devices and many other portable devices that use the Linux kernel. So in terms of distros, it looks like Fedora 30 and Ubuntu 19.04 will have this new release by April. And so this is exciting news for anybody who is really into Linux and distros and kernels in general. So I'm looking forward to this. So for me, if I could get better drivers, that in itself makes me happy. And so if you had any thoughts on anything that happened in CES 2019, what are your favorite picks here? And also, what are your thoughts on Linux 5? Be sure to leave that in the comments area below. And as always, if you did get value out of these videos, share, like, and subscribe. Hey geeks, if you are a creative geek like me and you wanted to learn how to create content on YouTube and other places on the internet, then check out my Gold Content Creators group, where you'll get access to 30 videos plus additional content for all the creative geeks out there. And the best part of it is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and sign up for my Gold Content Creators group. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.